If you want to sell on Amazon, then the first thing that you need to know is that there are going to be softwares that you have to learn and invest in. And these softwares are going to be your X-ray vision. They're going to show you what the average person cannot see. The details that are going to tell you the historical data about these products and if they are in fact products that are worth investing in to resell. And I get it. Learning how to use new softwares can be extremely overwhelming, but that is exactly what this video is for. I'm about to take you through the 3 main softwares that you're going to need to have in order to be a really good Amazon seller, and I'm going to give you a crash course in all 3 so that after this video, you can start using them all and start finding those products to resell. Keepa, SellerAmp, and ProfitGuru. After this video, once you watch it in its entirety, you should feel comfortable in using all 3 of those softwares, which are my absolute keys in finding products to resell on Amazon. But before we do that, all formalities out of the way, I'm Cassandra, and on this channel, I come each and every single week to tell you about my passion, which is how to sell on Amazon. So if you're interested in starting or scaling an Amazon FBA business, then go ahead, click that subscribe button and like this video. Or if you're really feeling up to it, leave a comment down below because that truly helps with our algorithms. And the more people that we're able to reach from these algorithms, the more free videos we're able to push out to you guys. So again, hit that subscribe button and let's go. Your crash course to all 3 softwares that you're going to need to know to be a really good Amazon seller. I get it. Especially in the beginning, it's going to be really hard to invest money into softwares, but you have to understand that this is a business. And in any business, in order to make money, you have to first invest money. And this first software is a non-negotiable. You have to invest in Keepa. Now, this is an exact listing that I sell on. And when the average person who's trying to buy this product comes onto this listing, right down here, they do not see any of this data, but this is exactly what you need to see as a seller. And I get it. To see all these different colors, all these different lines doing things, it is really intimidating at first, but it doesn't need to be. Now, what makes this listing a good listing, looking at this Keepa data, are a few things. Number 1, let's start down here on this bottom chart. So where you see the offer count, new offer count, 3, 2, 3, 4. Across time, there are not a lot of sellers on this listing. And that is the first thing that caught my attention when I found this brand using my ProfitGuru software. There are not 20 sellers selling this item. In the past month, there really has only been a couple of us competing for sales. So number 1, that's the first thing that Keepa is really telling you. The bottom chart down here is your competition. And if competition is too high, that's not good. That's when people start penny dropping and competing for sales. So these listings where you're seeing there's 3, 4 sellers on average, that is ideal. Now, 1 or 2 sellers, that can be a red flag. When you're looking at Keepa, if there's only 1 or 2 sellers across time, that can indicate that it's a private label or IP brand protected. So the first thing you want to see is that across time, if there's an average of 3, 4 sellers and those sellers are different people, then it's a pretty safe listing to jump on. And to see that it's different people winning the sales, what you want to do is come up here to data. Now, right here at data, it's going to tell you a lot of statistics about this product across time. I can see the 90-day rank, the average drops, which to most of us sellers, drops indicate sales, and then the average 90 and 100-day buy box price, which that's important because you want to jump onto products where the buy box is not going crazy and all over the place. You want to know that if you buy this product and intend to sell it for $12, that across time, it's selling for $12, that it's not jumping down to $4 and then skyrocketing up and then jumping back down. You want things to stay steady. So this is a great indicator right here. I can see the buy box 180-day average is $12 and the buy box is currently sitting around $12. So that's great. Right now, we're checking 2 boxes. We have low competition and we have a buy box that's staying steady. Now let's come over here to offers. I literally just ran out of stock today, so you're not going to see me on here. But I have my sprinkles right here that I ordered wholesale, ready to list and send off to the FBA warehouse. So I can see my main competitors right here. And that is super, super helpful for me because then I can take these sellers' names and pull them up into both SellerAmp and ProfitGuru to figure out what else are they selling? Because if we're both selling this product, chances are they have other products that I can then go find and start reselling. So all three of these products are great for storefront stalking. That is finding other sellers' stores and then copycatting what they're doing. Let's jump over here real quick before we get into that to the buy box statistics. And now here we can see who's winning the sales. And this is really important when you're looking at Keepa. You don't want to jump onto listings where one seller is winning 99% of the sales because then there's no room for you to jump in. But when we look at this Keepa data, it's showing us that this seller is getting 42% of the sales, this seller is getting 39% of the sales, and not only that, it's also showing us their model. So when I look here, I can see that these top two sellers are FBA sellers. So that means if I'm an FBA seller, this is a good listing for me because the top two sellers who are getting the majority of the sales are also FBA sellers. So on the contrary, if you are an FBM seller where you are going to ship out the products as they sell, you're not sending them to the warehouse, you're going to want to find listings that show that the top sales are going to FBM, not FBA. All right, back over to the price history real quick. A good listing looks like this. Look at this top chart and the green. See how the green looks like a heart monitor? It's going like this steady, fast. That's what you want. You want it to be going fast. You don't want breaks in the lines. The faster these are going, the more sales that are going out. So that's important. Let me zoom into a week real quick. So some Keepa charts, when you're not looking at a week, you might be looking at a 3-month frame. You might see bars that look like this. That is not good. If you have your frame to see 3 months and this is what this top green line looks like, that is not a listing that you want to jump onto. That is selling very, very slow. So all these stale lines that are just going flat, nothing's happening. Sales are not taking place. But for a week frame, that's not bad. However, this is a 3-month frame. If your 3-month frame looked like that week frame looked, I would not jump onto that. That means that you are not going to anticipate many sales at all. So because we see these nice steady drops and they're very tight together, that's the gist of reading your green lines on Keepa with indicating sales volume. Now up here, this top pink line, this is the buy box. So what you want with the buy box is what we see here. It's really steady. There's not much dip or jumps in that pink line. We have $12 going across, a little bit up to 14, 10, 11, but there's not any huge dips or any huge spikes. That is really good. So that's how you read Keepa in a crash course. Down here to the bottom, you want to make sure that the sellers, not 1 or 2, go check your data, make sure that the sales are shared evenly. And then up here at the green lines, you don't want it to be flat. You want it to be steady, going up and down like a heart monitor. Then for your top pink line, your buy box, what people are listing this for, you don't want to see any big drops and any big spikes. You want it to be pretty flat like this one is. This is a very solid Keepa chart. All right, now let's crash course on SellerAmp. SellerAmp will come up over here as an extension. So you see right here, it says SellerAmp. I can see that the BSR is 62,000, which is in the top 2%, which typically it's really good to stay in the top 1% if you want things to be flying off the shelves fast. But like I showed you with Keepa, there is not a lot of competition on this. For it to be in the top 2%, I know that I'm still going to be making pretty good sales because there's only an average of like 3 sellers at a time. For the estimated sales, this is showing 21 a month, which I can say is low because me, myself selling on this, I'm averaging about 30. So that is a little low, but it gives you a good indicator of what to expect. Now, right here, you can put in your cost price of $2.77. Say I want to sell these for $12. Now I can see my ROI is going to be 146% and my profit is $4. But because these are small and light and listed for a low price under $13, I can enroll this into the small and light program, which increases my profit to be just over $5. I make about $5.50 every time one of these sells. Now going down a little bit more, I can see that Amazon right here, they are not on the listing. Here's what the buy box is at, lowest FBA, lowest FBM. So it's showing me all of the offers and the lowest ones. And I will say there are some inaccuracies. ETs, because this is saying estimated time to sale. So by the time you list your inventory, get it to the warehouse, how fast can you expect to make a sale? And this is saying 4 weeks. But I guarantee you, as soon as I put these products into my system, into my Amazon seller account, and send them to the warehouse, I'm going to be making sales on day 1. And I know that because I've been selling these for months, and that's what happens every single month. So while I think SellerAmp is really good at giving you initial data, keep that in mind that it's not your Bible, it's just more of your initial guide. And then right here, I can see the initial chart that we just saw and interpreted on our data right here for Keepa. And now we have our profit, ROI, the max cost that we can pay to get that expected ROI. And then if all of those numbers run true, what we would have to list it at least break even. Now, something that I really like about SellerAmp is right here, Google Sheets. So you can set up a nice Google Sheet where I can just click and import all of the data to my sheet. It's going to tell me the buy box, the cost price, the list price, the profit, the margins, the ROI, everything. It's going to upload it right into my sheet that I connect from Google Sheets. Super easy to do. And now right here is one of my favorite portions. This shows me all of the sellers selling this product. So I can see currently there are 3 offers. The first 2 are FBM and the last one is FBA. This is exactly why I'm able to jump on and get a ton of sales on this listing, because Keepa showed me that the sales are being favored to the FBA sellers. But here's the thing. The FBA seller that's currently on here, they are listing this for $33. That is a mega spike. This is typically going for about $12. So when I jump on as an FBA seller, I'm going to win the sale over these 2 FBM sellers, and I'm obviously going to list it for less than $33. So that means out of these 3 sellers, I'm going to jump to the top and I'm going to be making the sales. Number 1, because I'm FBA. Number 2, because I have a price that's competitive to what the average buy box is. Now, what I can do from here on SellerAmp, the last really cool thing is to storefront stock. So I can click on these sellers' names and bring up their stores to see which products they're selling. So let's just pull up all 3. I'm just going to hover over where it says FBM and click. And for the next one, and again, click on that FBA seller. So now this is showing me the sellers and all of the top brands that they're selling, plus all of their products. I can see their BSR, the max cost that I can pay for it, the offers, and what the current buy box is at. Now, keep in mind, if this is a product less than 3 pounds and under $12, we can enlist it into small and light, and our profits are going to increase because Amazon's going to charge us less in fees. But it's nice because I can then see here the Keepa chart at a glance. But what I really like this for is that I get an idea of different brands that I can now reach out to and try to open wholesale accounts with. So all of these brands I'm going to send an email to and say, hey, I am a reseller. Here are all my business credentials. I'm super interested in selling your products. I currently sell XYZ. I have a 100% rate satisfaction. Tell them all those good things that they want to hear. I want to build a relationship with you. I think we can do great together. Me selling your products. Let's build this relationship and open up an account. Basically, when you reach out to a distributor or a brand, put yourself in their shoes and tell them what you would want to hear if you were them. How are you going to help them? So I would just go through and put all of these different brand names into Google and figure out where the contact form is to reach out to them. Here's the other account. This is the FBM seller. Same thing. I would reach out to all of these brands and ask if they would open up a wholesale account with me. I can see some of the products here, see how stiff the competition is. And here's our last one. And we definitely see a lot of overlaps, which makes sense. We're all selling sprinkles, so we all probably have other accounts with other brands that are selling things similar to sprinkles. So as soon as you're able to open that one account, once you're using SellerAmp to find those other sellers, you can just start piggybacking off of the brands that they're selling. Now, ProfitGuru, your third crash course, makes this even easier. So what I'm going to do, once I find a storefront where I know they have a lot of brands that are similar to things that I'm selling, I'm going to then take their seller ID, which is right here, and I'm just going to copy that. And now I'll click here into Storefront Stalker. This is my favorite part of Profit Guru and how I'm able to find so many leads of products and brands to resell. So that store ID, we're going to input it right here where it says Amazon Seller ID, and then we'll run the search. Now this is going to show me every single product, but even more than that, I can see the Keepa charts right here. So if you necessarily didn't want to invest in Keepa, you don't have to. It's here for you. I can click on any chart and have it come up even larger. So now I can see all those good things. I can see those green lines, which are the dips, and I want them to be nice and tight, indicating a lot of sales. And I don't even have to memorize what all the lines are because it's coming up right here. So across time, I can see that pink is the buy box, orange is Amazon. So anything where you see that cream color that's filling that bottom, that means that Amazon is on the listing. Not necessarily a bad thing. You can compete with Amazon, but again, Keepa does show you the buy box statistics and how well Amazon shares the buy box with you. But if you're just interested in having a basic Keepa concept, just to see the historical data of the sales volume and what the buy box is doing and the number of sellers, you can get that right here on Profit Guru and not have to pay that additional Keepa fee. Now, what else I really like about using Profit Guru is it's going to tell me everything I need to know about the product. And these metrics are very accurate compared to other softwares that I've seen. These are the most accurate thus far for a reason, because we're constantly analyzing what other softwares are doing and then improving ourselves to be better than them and more accurate. So this is telling me if I were to get this Lorian Cinnamon Spice Bakery 16-ounce bottle. The lowest price right now is $28.60. The BSR is 361, so it's in the top 1%. There are currently 3 sellers on it, 2 of them being FBA. So literally all of the data that I need to know, it's here at a quick glance. And now here's what's really important. If I just want to break even, I need to get this product for $18.91. If I want to make 25% ROI, then I would need to get this product for $15.13. So that's really nice to see when you do open wholesale accounts and you're looking at the catalogs. You can tell at a quick glance what their prices are and how low you actually have to get the product for in order to at least break even, which obviously is not the goal. Instead, I like to look here at that 25% ROI. If I'm hitting 25% ROI for a product that's easy to get my hands on and easy to resell, that's a win-win. Find dozens of products that do this, and you're going to be scaling in no time. Now, let's say you don't have a seller yet that you want to storefront stock. No issues. You can come right here to the Sellers tab on Profit Guru, and now you have a database full of all of the sellers that are selling on Amazon. Of course, that's going to take you a while to sift through that data, so you're going to want to put in some filters. If you are an arbitrage seller, then you're going to have several products and you're going to have several different brands. So that's where you're going to want to start with your filters. Setting these filters are going to help to eliminate a lot of the private label sellers that you're not going to be able to piggyback off of. So I put in they have to have at least 75 products and they have to be selling at least 10 different brands. These are really good indicators that will tell me that this seller is also a arbitrage seller and that I can easily piggyback and do what they're doing. You can also refine the number of ratings or feedback. And if you're trying to find somebody in particular, maybe you know a seller and you're really interested in what they're selling, you can even filter out if you're able to figure out their state and their city to find their store. And I have done this with many of sellers, just with some small chat, talking back and forth. Somebody that I'm interested in, I know they're a big seller, I'll just be like, hey, where are you from? Where do you live? They tell me the information, I input it right here, and boom, now I have your store and I can see every brand you sell, every product you sell, and I can start piggyback off of what you're doing. Let's just run this search and see what it brings up. So right here, all the sellers that have at least 75 products active and 10 different brands, we now have a list of over 43,000 Amazon sellers that we can start clicking into and then storefront stalking to finding brands and products that we can resell for ourselves. I can't tell you how powerful this is. I stay on here for hours, filter through one seller to the next, sift through their brands, sift through their products, and do what they're doing. It's so easy. Now, some things you're going to want to look for is the number of products. Obviously, if they're up here, 721,000, and they're selling over 18,000 brands, those are going to be really big wholesale accounts. So those type of sellers, you're just going to want to skip by. So something you can do here here is you can even filter through. Click here in the column where it says number of products. And now we're going to our minimum filter. These are the sellers that have at least 75 products. So these are the ones, if I don't have a wholesale account, I don't have business credentials, that I would start going into first. So let's see here, we can click into this one. Right here, we're going to click on their name. Now this is going to tell me all of the brands that they're selling, all of that specific seller's data. And now down here, if I want to start storefront stalking all of their specific products, I'm just going to click. And now boom, I have access to all of their inventory, and I can see if number one, I'm ungated in it, and number two, if I can easily get my hands on it. Now what I like to do to try to find the product is run a basic Google search first. So I'm going to hover over, say I wanted to sell these New Balance sneakers. I know that right here it's telling me I need to get it for at least $47.63. I'm going to come over right here to this Google tab, and I'm going to click that. Now this is going to bring up the product in Google, and I can see where the cheapest price is. And then I can even click up here to the shopping icon and just start shopping around to see where I can find that specific sneaker for the bottom dollar price that's going to bring me back the profit that I'm looking for. Now something else you can do is you can right click over the product, and when you right click, one of the options is going to say search image with Google. That is then going to bring up the product into Google Lens, where you can again see at quick glance where these are selling and what's the lowest price you can get it for. That's why ProfitGuru is my one-stop shop. We have built this to be the #1 place for Amazon sellers to come if you're doing wholesale or arbitrage selling. Now, next, once I have the product, what I like to do is come here to the FBA calculator. Let's just put in this ASIN for an example. Now I can see everything that I need to know about this product. So we have all of its stats, its measurements, estimated sales and sales rank. Down here, I can see the total revenue, and then you can divide that by the number of sellers, granted that the buy box is being shared equally, so that you can see how much revenue each seller is potentially bringing in. And over here, your profit calculator, which we will definitely say we've tested several others, and ours is pretty exact. It's not to say take this and run with it, but it's to say that this is pretty accurate. So if we're selling this product at $19.90, depending on how heavy it is, I can see here that this weighs 5 pounds. So this is going to cost me a little bit more to ship. I might make this $2 to be safe. They were getting this product for $5, and then we would calculate. Then it's showing me the referral fees from Amazon, the FBA fees from Amazon, the storage fees from Amazon, and then I could see here buying it for that would definitely be a negative profit. So using this calculator will tell you for the price that you're able to get it for if this is going to bring you back profit or not. Now, a lot of people ask me about the shipping. Here's what I can tell you about the shipping. A full box, which I fill my boxes to be almost 50 pounds, because you can't go over 50 pounds for Amazon. They won't accept that. So I get really close. I don't like to touch that 50, but I get like 47 pounds. So what you need to do is think about the weight of each product. So a full box on average costs me about $20. So let's say my box weighs 47 pounds and I'm able to fit, let's say, 47 products into that box. So as you can see, the smaller and lighter the units, the more you can fit into a box for about 47 pounds, the less you're going to be paying per unit. The smaller, the lighter, the better. Now, the last thing I'll show you in this crash course, because it's something I use very heavily, is the brands tab. Now, those sprinkles I was showing you earlier, this is how I found those sprinkles. What I did was I came here to my categories and I went to grocery and gourmet foods. So you're going to select the categories that you are most comfortable with selling. Then right here for number of products, I want to make sure I'm finding brands that have a lot of products that are selling on Amazon. I'm going to set this to be a minimum of at least 200. Now, for the number of sellers per listing, I set this to 2.5 up to 6, because I don't want there to be 1 or 2 sellers. That's going to indicate to me that it's private label or brand protected. So I want that to be a little higher. That's why I use 2.5. And for my maximum, I don't want a ton of competition. I want to find wholesale brands that maybe there's only like 4 of us sellers competing for that buy box. So I set that to be around 6. For estimated monthly sales, I don't do anything crazy, but I do want to make sure that the brand is actually selling. So I'll set this maybe 40, 50, 100. I play with it each time, but I want to make sure there is at least a steady number of estimated sales.
and then I'll search. Now from those filters, I have over 1,200 different brands in the grocery and gourmet food category that now I can start clicking into these brand names and investigating their products. So for each brand, I can see their name, number of products, the sellers per listing, which I want to see that to be above 2. The number of FBA sellers, right here, the number of listings that have Amazon on them, which again, I can come down here to advanced filters, and I could even filter that out. If I didn't want Amazon on here, I can come right here where it says percentage of listing with Amazon.com as a seller. I can put that to 1. Then I can try to get rid of competing with Amazon if that's something you don't want to do. So then I just go through and I look really quick. All right, I can see this brand, for example, they have 543 products, 4.1 average sellers, 1.5 being FBA sellers, 0% of Amazon on them, and this last one is their estimated monthly sales. So that looks really good. The last thing you want to look at is right here in this column, that's showing you the sellers. Now, this is the brand. We believe in quality, so I would not want to see them as a seller. If the brand is a seller on Amazon, that's a red flag for you. You're not going to want to have to compete with the brand, number 1, and number 2, they're probably going to protect their products so that resellers can't jump onto them. So this one looks pretty good. There's a lot of sales. There's enough sellers to say that it's not brand protected, but not enough to be too competitive. So what I would do from here is click that brand name. I can see all of the sellers who are selling this brand. So if I can open up an account with them, I can just go to all of these sellers' storefronts and start piggybacking and buying what they're buying. I really hope that this crash course has been super valuable for you. And after watching this, you should feel comfortable in using all 3 softwares, Keepa, SellerAmp, and ProfitGuru, which I personally use in conjunction right now to help me to find my brands and products to resell on Amazon. But like I said, we are working hard on our extension for you guys to maximize your profits by saving you software dollars.